Bitcoin is at present up by an incredible 227% year-to-date. It might have been impressively more interesting had Bitcoin hung on to $24,000 levels, in the wake of having hit an unequaled high of $24,244 on the 20th of December. Investors will be addressing whether Bitcoin could proceed with its upward direction that began from a modest 4,000 back in March. Box to top, Bitcoin flooded by a considerably greater 506%, and that was only in 3 quarters. If we take a similar direction, Bitcoin should hit the insane heights of $143,000 in late 2021 above any pullback. For investors, the time is right. They can change over a second-hand car into a second-hand supercar, or an upfront installment on a mansion. Several things are going on at the present moment, so we should separate what the market has been anticipating. Most importantly, you need to know all the insights concerning Bitcoin's return. Institutional authority is getting clients. People are beginning to purchase the organization's retail expectation. The investors are quite intelligent here. They realize when to contribute and when not to. Bitcoin's enormous news is true at this point. On the off chance that you're one of those individuals who are anxiously sitting tight for the Bitcoin to ascend to $1,000, at that point, agree with a particular position, because the ruler has spoken at this point. But we need to discuss Bitcoin's market cycles first. With regards to contributing human feelings, they'll in general waver between 2 limits of fear and greed. In late December, we saw the US SEC record a claim against Ripple, asserting that Ripple had not enlisted XRP as a security. The harm to XRP and the more extensive crypto market was broad. XRP tumbled from a November unsurpassed high of $0.78 to a December low of 20 cents. That's a disturbing 746% drop, and only in 1 month. Because of the SEC move, Bitcoin lost force, with a pullback to $21,000, before steadying. The more extensive market likewise hit a turnaround, with the absolute crypto market cap tumbling from a high of $680.6 billion to $590.85 billion. It may not measure up to the market breakdown of mid-2018, yet it was still liable to have been an excruciating encounter for individuals who hopped in past the point of no return. Back in January 2018, the complete crypto market cap had moved to an untouched high of $761.74 billion, before its breakdown to only $91.24 billion in December of 2018. Taking a gander at the market flexibility this time around, Bitcoin and some of the other major cryptos have held their ground. While the late 2020 force rally drove the cryptos to record highs, there was no group attitude auction. This should comfort existing financial specialists and those remaining uninvolved. One should question the SEC's planning. XRP isn't new to the market. All the more critically, cryptos were under the amplifying glass back in late 2017. So why now? It might have something to do with its run towards $1 levels. A great run from a March low of 11 cents. For XRP holders, despite it, it wasn't only the 700% ascent that caused a stir. Ripple's foundation is one that keeps on making an imprint into more conventional settlement stages. Even after the supposed air pocket of 2017, crypto still can't seem to turn out to be generally adequate to controllers. It almost appears as if the SEC was saving the silver shot for the following convention that was just about 3 years taking shape. Presently, with Bitcoin brokers and financial specialists looking ideally towards 2021, one previous crypto cynic turned Bitcoin adherent has anticipated the Bitcoin cost could hit $100,000 per Bitcoin throughout the following 2 years, before moving as high as $500,000 by 2030. The CEO at Morgan Creek Capital Management, Mark Yusko, told Business News Insider that in the coming years, Bitcoin will ascend to $100,000. By 2025, it could reach $250,000, and after some breaks in 2030, we could see 400,000 or 500,000 Bitcoin values as it arrives at gold comparability. If Bitcoin can dodge a slide back to sub-20,000 levels, at that point, Bitcoin bulls will set the bar high. We've heard discussion of $1 million, but such a bar may be excessively high. It truly is about the development attitude and zeroing in on the funding potential gain or the potential gain of the resource now. The development of the Bitcoin network, which has extended quickly since Bitcoin was made barely 10 years back, will help battle abundance disparity, as per Yusko, who holds about $1.5 billion worth of resources at his US-based speculative stock investments. Here's the current chart for Bitcoin. This chart shows all the information about the last 12 hours rate. 2021 gives us a clear rate of Bitcoin rising to $34,757.35. The yellow line describes the Bitcoin ascent according to the given time. This chart shows the given rate of Bitcoin and makes it easier for investors to make their move. Bitcoin isn't as easy to understand as it should be to turn into a broadly utilized strategy for installments. To be reasonable, Bitcoin is a lot simpler to use than it was only a couple of years back. In any case, it can still be somewhat mind-boggling for newcomers. A record should be made with a Bitcoin trade like Coinbase, which regularly includes sending a photograph of your ID and connecting your financial records. Also, you might be hanging tight a few days for your Bitcoin to show up in your wallet. While I wouldn't call the cycle troublesome, it's more dreary than hauling money out of an ATM or swiping your charge card at a vendor. There are presently 16.7 million Bitcoins available for use, so a $100,000 per coin valuation suggests an all-out valuation of 1.67 trillion for all Bitcoins. This is a huge amount of cash. However, it isn't entirely impossible. This chart shows the rising rate of Bitcoin price trend indicated by the blue and pink lines. In the beginning, both lines are ascending at an equal pace. As it gets higher to about $42,500, these lines descend to $34,841.53. Though the line doesn't indicate a steep fall in the Bitcoin price, it just indicates that the price is marking its descent. This chart also shows the rate of all the different materials like gold, silver, Bitcoin Cash, and much more. Bitcoin's utilization case as a store of significant worth is disputable because of the value and predictability. Where developments of 1 to 2% in the valuable metals market cause a stir, it's normal for Bitcoin to move 10% in a single day. And a few significant accidents have happened in the decade or so since the dispatch of the organization. Despite on a drawn-out scale, Bitcoin has normally demonstrated to be extremely rewarding speculation. Truth be told, examiners have recorded Bitcoin as the best-performing resource class of 2019, with 60% development in under 2 months. The incorporation of a moderate Bitcoin interest in an assorted portfolio has likewise appeared to expand the sharp proportion of that portfolio and diminish unpredictability. There's no assurance that Bitcoin's cost will keep on expanding as it has done before. Numerous organizations, big and small, are occupied with discovering approaches to take care of this issue, and some advancements are being made. One especially encouraging model is Square, which as of late began trying different things with Bitcoin in its Square Cash application. If purchasing and utilizing Bitcoins becomes as simple as swipe right and afterwards filtering your telephone at an installment terminal, it could make cryptocurrencies adoption explode. In 2017, the Bitcoin exchange volume grew by 55% and 30,000 new Bitcoin wallets were made every day. Since Bitcoin isn't generally acknowledged as cash yet, it's reasonable to expect that quite a bit of this action is crafted by theorists. That is, individuals who are purchasing Bitcoin for the sole reason that they figure it will increment in worth. By the day's end, Bitcoin's cost is represented similarly as some other resource, basically by market interest. However long theorists keep interested in the front of the stock of Bitcoins ready to move, the cost could keep on rising. Bitcoin's use as cash has gotten genuinely popular in Japan. The nation authoritatively approved Bitcoin as an installment technique a couple of months back, and as of the most recent accessible data, around 240,000 organizations in Japan acknowledge Bitcoin as a type of payment. Therefore, Japan has the biggest portion of Bitcoin exchange volume in the world. Generally, 60% of Bitcoin exchanging volume was in the Japanese yen as of October 2017. Meanwhile, the US government hasn't authoritatively directed Bitcoin yet, other than naming it as a capital resource for charge purposes. Some US wards have made it very hard for organizations to acknowledge Bitcoin installments. For instance, in New York, all organizations that need to take Bitcoin installments need to get a BIT license, which costs $5,000 to apply for and accompanies 500 pages of administrative work. Truth be told, the Japanese government's decision to view Bitcoin as an official form of payment has been credited for a huge bit of 2017's benefits. As mentioned before, a $100,000 Bitcoin would in any case imply that simply a little level of the world's cash in abundance would be as computerized money. So it's possible that if Bitcoin turns into standard money, its drawn-out worth could be a lot higher. I've mentioned before that, although improbable, $1 million Bitcoin is completely conceivable under the correct conditions. And a few financial specialists think such a value could be only a couple of years away. Honestly, there's a lot that needs to happen before Bitcoin's value would arrive at such raised levels. And it's altogether possible that things won't work out in a good way for Bitcoin and the cost could implode. To put it plainly, Bitcoin could go whichever way throughout the next few years and might take a major turn one way or the other. At the end of the day, Bitcoin's cost is represented similarly as some other resource, principally by the organic market. If you missed the chance before, no problem. You shouldn't miss this chance in 2021 this time. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that notification bell. Are you investing in the upcoming huge Bitcoin rise? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.